Hello, Epic. My name is Kellie Blankenship. I am a special education teacher, and so I have taught students in grades 1 through 5 in emotionally disturbed type setting, as well as grades 1 through 5 in a severe profound, and then also grades 1 through 6 in mild and moderate. I have also taught mainstream classrooms for 5th grade, 4th grade, and 3rd grade. So I'm really excited to share my experience as well as to learn from you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on my case study with Cora. Now, Cora is a 7th grader, and she taken this NWEA winter of 2019. So her results are fairly new. One thing I noticed about Cora is that she spent 29 minutes on this assessment. So we have to put that in consideration. If she were to take longer, would her scores have gone up? So that's one thing to consider. But overall, she scored a 205 in mathematics, which is right there with below her peers, but again, she's making progress on her level. So she is making great gains. Now, compared to her peers, she is quite significantly below. But again, we have to look at Cora's potential, what Cora is able to do. And right now, Cora is making great gains and want to keep that going. So one thing that I'm looking at is in her area of numbers and operations. She scored a 198, which was her lowest. And our highest was in geometry and measurements. So I'm not really concerned about her algebra or her data or geometry. I really want to focus on her numbers and operation. So next time I meet with Cora, I would like to sit down and really focus on, does she understand what place value is? What does a 2-digit number look like? And then taking those 2-digit numbers and adding without regrouping. So we're going to first start off, and we will have Cora add 2-digit numbers without regrouping using a base 10 blocks, as well as some YouTube videos. And at the very end, I want to assess her with IXL, and then also with the program that she's using, which is Comprehend. And so she will be able to add 2-digit numbers without regrouping using real world one-step word problems, and then demonstrating that knowledge using base 10 blocks, and then also being able to master IXL section G10 on the math portion. And so when we're sitting down talking with her and observing, I would really like to see her go through IXL and be able to demonstrate her knowledge of completing addition without regrouping these 2-digit numbers using real world problems, such as Cora has 11 jeans and 14 shirts. How many items of clothing does she have in all? So being able to put together, what does 11 look like? What does a tens look like? What do ones look like? And then adding the ones together, adding the tens together, and then coming up with the sum and realizing that this sum, whenever you add, is going to be greater than what you started off with. So that is what I would like to accomplish with Cora. Now, the second question we had was regarding a student. I believe his name was John. And John is a 5th grade student. He's diagnosed with ADHD, and he's had a really hard time staying focused in the mainstream classroom. He frequently needs to get up, move around the classroom. He can't control his talking. He struggles to remember to turn his assignments in. And but looking at his star reading, it placed him at a 5.6 grade level. So assuming that this was taken in the winter, the same time as Cora's NWEA, he is right there on grade level. And so there's no need to take him out of the classroom. And since we don't really need a psychological evaluation to say there's no learning disability going on here, it's best to put him on a 504 plan that will keep him in the mainstream classroom, but allow him to have extra time, as well as some extra assistance to turn these assignments in. Things like having a planner, something that's color-coded. Your math is a yellow folder, and it's going to be turned into this section. And then we're going to have extra time for him to complete the assignment. So, usually we might give kids like 2 or 3 days to complete assignments. We might give John this assignment on Monday and say, hey, let's turn it in the following Monday. That way he can break it up. He won't feel rushed, and we can truly see what John can do to his full potential. And so before we take him out of the classroom, and instead of giving him extra services, let's just keep him in the mainstream classroom as much as possible, put him on a 504. Especially since his Dibbles reading test, it takes him 2 grades above his grade level. So I'm wondering if some areas he might just be really bored, and we might want to push him. And so, hey, let's try some 6th grade books. Let's try some novels. Let's try some other activities that are going to be more challenging that might want to keep his focus. Another good thing with this kiddo is that it sounds like he's got some really strong leadership and he wants to be involved. And so if we were able to put him like in a peer position where he feels like he has ownership of the classroom, like as a team leader or the line leader or the teacher's helper, that might really help John succeed also.